We'll be talking about the leadership lessons of Emperor Shaka Zulu. People have viewed Shaka Zulu as this person who is a fierce, cruel leader, the butcher, as others would call him, the leader who had to manipulate in order to get his way. But I'm going to talk about 10 leadership lessons from Emperor Shaka Zulu which we need to apply. Are you an entrepreneur or a leader in any organization? These are the 10 critical leadership lessons from Emperor Shaka Zulu which you need to apply. Number 1, mission is more important than convention. Shaka Zulu knew that for him to become a Zulu chief or to conquer the Zulu kingdom, he had to defeat other tribes and his enemies in order for him to be a victor. And this was not going to come in an easy walkover. It had to require strategy. He had to be smart and strategic in how is it that he had to execute his task. So his mission was more important than convention. What is your mission? Your mission must be more important than convention, because for him, in order to convert the Zulu nation into a mighty, powerful Zulu nation, he had to have a mission. So what is your mission? Number 2, know the battlefield better than the enemy. Shaka Zulu knew that the battlefield was not an easy playground for him, or it's not an easy playground for him to be at. So he had to come up with a strategy to know the battlefield better than the enemy. In other words, he had spies in different types of villages where he knew which one was doing what, how they fight, what war tactics they had, what missions they were planning. So know the battlefield better than the enemy. In your respective organization, it's important that you need to understand who your competitors are so that you can be 10 steps ahead of the enemy. Do you see there are some shops which have discounts in certain products, in certain types of coupons and incentives, because they know the battlefield better than the enemy. Number 3, build a fanatical team. Shaka Zulu knew that for him to conquer the Zulu nation, he had to come up with a fanatical team and build a team that is strong. So he took them to camps, he trained them, he taught them how to wear no more sandals, how to walk barefoot. He taught them how to fight. The long traditional spear was shortened or shortened or cut to be a shorter spear, which made him come closer towards the enemy. So build a fanatical team. Number 4, build a developing strategy. Shaka Zulu knew that the traditional war fighting method was not good, because you had to stand a certain kilometers away from the enemy. So the spear, it was like you were playing jokes. So now he had to come up with a method which he called the Impi Osigiti, where he had to come closer to the enemy and stab the enemy through the heart through using an ox horn formation method which he used to attack with. Another leadership lesson is that another who sharpens another who. Shaka Zulu knew that for him to conquer, it did not require him to be alone. He had to have help. So he sought the leadership of other tribe leaders or authority leaders that he also conquered to assist him in making sure that he had to achieve his goals at the end of the day. Now, another lesson is that never rely on your own PR. Get an expert. You need to get an expert who's going to assist you in your respective field. So I find it very strange when people have to rely on other people for their own PR. I mean, you have to do your own PR. You have to be smart in how is it that you execute your task as such, so that you can be more strategic. Another lesson is that you need to build lasting monuments. Shaka Zulu knew that he had to build lasting monuments. So he had to build a nation, a Zulu nation that is still powerful today. If you can check, amongst all the South African provinces, the province of KwaZulu-Natal is the largest province of them all. Well, not the largest as much, but the first actually is the first largest. The second being Northern Cape, and the Western Cape is the third. So he had to make sure that he had to build lasting monuments. So what kind of lasting monuments is it that you are able to build? Because when you build lasting monuments, you're able to become more creative, and in order so that you can become a conqueror and a victor at the end of the day, so that you don't do things that you're not supposed to be doing. Shaka Zulu celebrated his successes. After conquering, having all the strategies that we've spoken about and others that you can also put in place, it's important that you need to protect your legacy by doing a copyright. In other words, make sure that your leadership style is a leadership style or a lesson that is going to be carried from one generation to the next. For example, we take the example of KFC's Colonel Sanders, the secret recipe of KFC. Even today, when you purchase the franchise, there's still the secret recipe which is passed from one generation to the next, and that secret recipe cannot be handed over even if you buy the franchise. There is where you buy the ingredients from the franchisor, and then that is ingredients given to you so that you can have KFC. Because if the secret recipe is discovered, then automatically KFC will no longer be anybody's favorite. Everybody will just do things that they think it's important for. They can open up KFCs even in the street stalls, will end up having KFC on the street, so KFC won't even apply anymore. So it's important that you need to come up with a model that is going to be creative, so that you can be able to apply all these leadership lessons to make sure that you become a profound individual. And the last of them, or the cream of the cake, is that you need to leave a trademark behind. Shaka Zulu left a trademark behind. Despite all his monitored, and so that you can be able to achieve your goals at the end of the day.